Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Space Engineers No Jetpack Survival, and what? There's no intro. Yeah, I'm gonna have to speed things up for this whole ship build thing because it's taking a long time and I kind of want it done in the next maybe 10 episodes, if that's not too much to ask. I have been to visit this offline just to sort of get things started on an idea because it was going to get a bit fiddly and I really don't want to be sort of taking up loads of time just sort of fiddling around with an idea that doesn't really amount to anything critical, but you know, could take ages. So I've done this bit. So what I've done, I've put a ladder up here, and there's a reason why I've put it here and not here. If we go too close to that, then we can't get out if we fall down there. If we go over that, then as much as it looks like we can get in quite easily, we can't get out. I've chosen here. We can't go here for obvious reasons. We can't go here because this, you can't put anything on it. And I didn't want stairs because stairs take up loads of room. And if we, again, we can't go over this either. So this goes up a couple of levels here using the scaffold ladder into one of these slightly newer corridor blocks with the light. And it comes round this way into a T-shape, which is side on, so we can carry on that way or go that way, and that leads us to where we're going to have the viewing platform here. So that leads us up to there, which is a perfect spot to sort of view ships coming in and out, which we'll also have access to here from up there. We'll find a way of joining these together. Ow, don't do that. Right, and all of this on the other side is just interior plate to match what we've done there. We brought this round this way so that we can carry on straight up with that. So that's where we're at right now. So the next thing we need to do is we need to look at welding these up, and then we need to start filling this all in so we end up with a proper enclosed space that looks like a hangar. So yeah, that's the task for right now. Of course, you know, I'm not going to make you watch me weld everything up, so we will cut this bit out and come back when that's when that's all done. Right, that's pretty much the top done. As you can see, this all meets up quite neatly. We've got a nice heavy armor slope here, which should provide some good ricochets, which helps protect us a little bit. We probably can do some more on the front of there. I mean, we've ended it quite bluntly, but it doesn't have to end. It doesn't have to stay that way. It just, that's where it ends for the sake of what we got here. Oof, did not mean to do that. Right, gotta be careful. I'm already on 89% health right now. So we've still got these bits to do. They're just a little bit of light armor. I can't do that. Okay, and that bit there, which you have to find a way up. So let's put just a little ramp in here. That gets me those two. That gives me that one. Right, so you're getting an idea for the space here straight away. It's quite a nice tall hangar bay. We're going to have to put some walls in here now just to get this sort of enclosed in. So we need a shape that looks quite good, works well for this. I think we're going to go with... Oh, that's pretty cool. It's not for what it's intended to be, but it looks cool. Doesn't butt against that very well, so I'm wondering, sometimes I like the idea of using wrong blocks to do things, because like we could do that's pretty awesome, but it's obviously a railing and it looks silly. Okay, we're going to just stick with our doors. because we've got this whole lighting thing going on here, and except for the blocks that are kind of functional, I think we should stick with doing this. Across the top we're going to have to put some armor on. Okay, and let's do the same on the other side. Of course, you can do what the hell you like. You do not have to follow this pattern at all. Okay, we could leave empty spaces in places because, like, it's lighter. Certainly could do that. We don't really have to, but you know, it's just the way it goes. So that was bloody freeze. Right, let's weld these up. 8. Took a while to do these because that heavy armor and these take a lot of resources, and it's a lot of climbing up and down, but that's why I had this little pathway. I'm digressing a bit. That does that, and we can come up here onto here and then all the way around here. So nice way up, which gets the job done. Okay, we're going to need a way up there as well, but I think that's going to be easier said than done. So what I'm going to do, I am going to have to jump for him, I think. Right. Four. 5. Jump to weld technique. Okay, it's one side, and yeah, I quite like the way the light works in these, and I can always do some sort of like neon strips or something to bring these out a bit more. Certainly is possible. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 across here. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across the top. So, that didn't. Did that just? I don't trust it. 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, let's put everything back. Get just those. Oh, we're a little short, but it's good enough. Do our little rat run. And we're short just a tiny bit. Okay. There, that got that. Right, so that's the, apart from these little cornery bits that are sort of missing, that's the interior walls here. We need some armor across the top there. I think this one, well, if I block this out, I'm not going to be able to get up on top again, so maybe I should deal with the top first and sort of just finish off this part of the design. Oh, I missed a block. Huh. Okay, we're going to have to go back down and get materials for those. We're going to need a load of steel plate anyway. Don't know why I didn't grab it before. So, take that one bit. We can use heavy armor paneling over the top of what we're going to put on here if we need to. Just keep it light, just for a bit of extra protection. But the idea is to try and keep any enemies sort of facing forward of us. It's not going to always be possible, but I'm hoping also that this ship's going to be quite fast. It's going to be huge, but it's going to have a lot of thrust on it. And at some point, I'm hoping we can do some of those unknown signal type things, not these ones, but like the unidentified signals, with the aim that we've got a random block there that's going to need filling in. I'll do it from the inside though, because I can figure that out later. Yeah, some unidentified signals because, well, do we do it like that, or do we slope these down a bit in the middle? There's no 3/4 blocks, it wouldn't work. We're going to have to do it like that. Yeah, what was I saying? What was I saying? Duh, I can't remember what I was saying. Stuff. Oh yeah, it's going to be fast, and we're going to need to do the unknown signal things because I would like to be able to put some of the more advanced thrusters on here. Right, that's good. So here, it's going to have to be a heavy armor shape to go in that space. So heavy armor slope. Is that just an ordinary like slope? Yes, completely is as well. Yeah, leading edge heavy armor. Right. Hopefully we don't get into many fights here. More steel plates needed. Oh, actually, I'm going to cut a bit out of this, out of the thingy here. So here, I meant to bring that up a bit more. So I think that's going to have to be a straight. So I think the way I did it was to put that side. Okay, and then here I think we need to have like a cargo access port. So 5 cargo terminal. Do we do it like that? No, I think we just do an ordinary an ordinary cargo. Because that's not going to work. It just doesn't make sense. So, yeah, I think we just do a normal cargo container here. It seems weird put a cargo container where we're going to put it, but I also need to not put that there yet. I need to weld that thing up first. Okay, that's next. So, yeah, once I've got that there, I can get all the rest of the materials up here quite easily. So that's going to be quite simple. There's more on the other side as well. I mean, I remember where I put everything, so it's at least good. Right, so that there, and then cargo goes on after that. So back down for that, and that's the last thing I need to grab from down here. So this is the first actual upper outer hull part. There we go, nice. Right, so that's there. We're going to have one on the other side as well. So we have to make sure it's the right way round, but that's a good start. So this side, again, we have the little problem of that shouldn't be there. So we just rotate that round. Okay, I need to get up. Right, and then we can put our cargo container on the top. That's going to be from 5. Right, okay, so now we've got those on. I will put a cap on it. Oh, I've done it the wrong way around. Better. Got a match. We'll put a cap on the top of that actually, but we'll weld up some of this stuff first so that it's not getting in the way. Right. Good. Now we've got these. We've got that one there, which I don't know what we're doing with that yet, so I'm going to just remove that for the minute. Actually, no, that can definitely be just a solid line across here for now. We can work out how we cut into that for the next levels, like at a shortly. That's what I need to say. This could start don't do that to me. This could start sloping down at this point, actually. Right. That one's going to have to be solid as well. Okay. Energy's low, so I'm going to have to run back in a minute. Good. Okay. Slopes down, down, down. Slope, slope, slope. Down, down, down. Energy's there. Good. This is nearly completely enclosed in now. We've got this bit to do. So here on this side, I think that needs to be that for sure. We're going to have to devise a way out onto the hull at some point, but not from directly here. I think the way out onto the hull will be from somewhere around where the bridge is going to be, up here. Sort of just backwards of there a little bit. Okay. For now, though, my way out onto the hull's here. It's just going to have to stay for the bit. We could go up there and actually have a look at that. So, right. So here, we've got that slope there. We need another one to follow it, which will be slightly less steep slope. So that'll be number 2. Yeah. So I think we just continue that line down a bit. Maybe not all the way, but just enough. So here we can do the same. Will it get in the way? Probably, but we'll see. The next one will, because then I won't be able to just do that. So that's a long way down there. I need to be very careful. That can go on there. Yeah, okay, so we got an idea what's going in there. That's fine. Here I need something solid in there. So I'm going to have to go with a solid armor block. Just to keep it sturdy. And then we go with another one of those where it belongs there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Okay, that's it. That's one line. Let's get the other bits done. Make sure we've got nothing in our build planner. Put stuff back so we can just do this properly. 1, 2, miss 1. There. That'll be a solid block eventually. Okay, Right. Okay, good. So that part of the hull sorted. This is the corridor, I think. Yes, that's the corridor, so we are going to have to enclose that off at some point. We can figure that out shortly, but the hangar's done. For the most part, at least. There's a few little bits that are missing, but here, this is going to join in to there, so we can then slope into this bit and put our bridge in. So I think we could put some sort of reinforcement in there. I think, I'm not sure that that bit there should be another one of these girders. The beam block things. Wherever I've put them. Probably not on my bar anymore. I don't think there should be beam blocks anyway, just because I need it to be flat on this point. So I think what we're going to do is something like that. Should do the trick. Yeah, steel plates needed. I'm going to have to cut out for that other pipe that we missed out on. There's another one here that goes up that I haven't actually put in. So these bits here can be like for, I don't know what they could be for actually. Oh. Might need to have a look from the inside in a minute, but they would normally come out here, but I could probably use them to come out sideways and pop like some sort of side gun on, potentially. Yeah, we'll have to cut into there to do that at a later point. Right, so we've got this here. And that's the slope that comes out to the top there. So now I can put something here. It's a bit more, well, it probably should be a heavy armor piece actually. We do something like that across here, so we can get up to this level. Of course, you know, it's just like a cross section of it. It would come out a lot wider than that. But if we do that, so we can come up to this level here, and this is going to be the level where the bridge is going to sit. Probably somewhere around here. With most of the ship behind us. Just the initial navigation bridge, because we could put it way back. Make the nose really long. I'm kind of just not sure about doing that. Potentially. Having the bridge here is, well, maybe the bridge is here. Let's see, this slopes up. Not fall off. I forgot about this. Right, this slopes up here. Now that that's connected by there, which is connected to the rest of the thing, I could probably change that to some actual stairs. If I change that to stairs, it comes up to here, then it's a bit tight for a bridge. But we could bring these out and change these to something more solid. Well, there's going to be floor across here. Like the floor is going to be at this level, the level of this block. Which, what's this block doing? Oh, it's a pipe up, so this needs to come round. Or we just go straight over the top of it. I think we should just go straight over the top of it. Right, let's get these welded up anyway. So that's necessary, I think. Right, so now that that and all of this is connected to that and this, I can rethink this slope here and straighten it out a bit. So we'll just place a solid. This is kind of coarse stuff here, so it's got to be solid steel plate. No, solid big light armor blocks. Sorry, I keep calling them steel plate. Right. So that extends this over this way, and we can bring this sort of line right over here. So we've got like a ramp up and then across. If that's also one of these, and that is going to be where we're going to potentially pipe up to something on the top for guns or whatever, so we can work around that. If that's the main floor level there, we then need to at some point come up to the sides of these and have something on each of these sides potentially. We'll figure out how to fill that space in a minute, but I think the bridge should be kind of at this level where we are. Maybe. We're just sort of, what we're doing now is we're sort of filling out the top level. Because once we've got this, then we can work out how to use the space in between a little bit. There's a ramp down there which doesn't work anymore, so I'm gonna have to take that off at some point soon. If I take that out and put a little ramp down, I can get to that one. Those two I can get to from elsewhere. Right. So let's do that on the other side. I'll walk through a block. Right. So yeah, we're placing the bridge back here a little bit. Floor level's going to be there, which is what, 2 blocks down from here. So that's going to be like a whole sort of... once I put the floor on, it's going to come flush with that. So it brings it up to this level with 1 more block up. So some steps or something. Yeah. Okay. These on and go out 1 more. This is basically going to be bridge space. I like the bridge to be just behind the hangar area, really. Not too far behind, because then you can't really monitor the hangar properly. I mean, you could put one. You could argue, like for big ship style, put it at the back so you can see the whole ship. But then you can't see anything you're going to run into. You've got no idea how close you are to things. So the closer to the actual front, the better, in my opinion, for some ship designs. Some people would have one buried in the ship and use third-person view to fly it, or cameras. For me, it would have to be cameras because I literally have no third-person view enabled. It's not a thing in this particular playthrough. It's turned off. So I'm building this ship for people that want all of the options. You know, you won't be relying on things like third person. You can play it in a roleplay world. I could have done this, a lot of this with blah 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 blah, interior panels, so interior wall blocks, that's the word, but it's a bridge. I think it's got to be strong. I've had too many occasions where the floor's been blown out of my bridge. Now, at some point we might decide to start like tweaking, changing, cutting out blocks, putting little passages in and things. Just depends on sort of how things will line up, but this design is very different to my others so far. I mean, the shape is kind of along the same sort of lines at the moment, but it's going to be very different in a bit. So it's going to come out, it's going to have sort of like nacelle type things with stuff in them. this is a very weak description. Right, let's get all of that done there. So, Of course, the ship's not going to narrow at this point at all. It's going to be probably just as wide as the rest of it, to be honest. Need to weld up all of that actually at some point soon. Let's get some plate in these, free up some space. Right. Yeah, freeze. Right, he did it. That's fine. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. This is where all our cobalt's going to go. Any heavy armor that we do put on, plus thrusters and stuff like that, it's going to use a lot. We're not going to put a lot of heavy armor on this, just some vulnerable edges. Mostly for the ricochet lols. There we go. Right, so this is the edge coming off there. So the hangar, boom, boom, boom. Big leading edge off here. Bridge probably around here. The bridge windows are going to have to sort of come in on this. Just sit on top of this platform, really. Then bridge roof. Stairs to the back there. Starting to really get somewhere. I think we need a quick look from the outside, and also I need to go and get a heal, to be honest, because I'm a bit nervous standing this high with some energy, well, some health missing. Plus it's a little opportunity just to sort of have a little walk through what we've got. Make sure everything's done. That bit there needs something, potentially. Here, I think what we could do is elongate that window, bring it over one more, potentially. Alright, let's come out, let's just have a look around what we're looking at here. That's going to have to be worked on. Yeah, bridge is up there. That's our hangar area, which is going to be closed off, actually. It's not going to be completely open in that sense. We're going to have to watch out for that piston though. We can't come too close to it, but we can come out. We can occupy these blocks there. Right. All of this needs welding up. It's a lot. I'm actually going to use the elevator for a change. So that we've not walked most of this parts of the ship yet for a while, and we haven't walked underneath it. Elevator needs music. Make sure we can still walk in and out. Yep. Okay, so big grand elevator, big grand connector, temporary, big foot. There will be at least 3 of these. At some point, maybe, I don't know, maybe we could do 3. That'll keep it level, unless the ground's not level. We could do 2 and keep it level even on unlevel ground. That could be novel, but it'd look weird trying to stand on, like, balancing. This comes out like that. Side gun stuff. That's interesting. That bit. I think what we're going to have to do is sort of pair that back there with the solid block. So both of these are going to have to be, well, that one at least is going to have to be a solid block, and that one could be something else. Well, it could be what it is, to be honest. So we'll have to build up there and change those out. It'll be the same on the other side because we did it symmetrical. yeah, just this is flipped around so we can actually see what's really going on here. So that'll have to be a solid. That'll have to be flipped around the other way so it doesn't look silly. Is that the same as the other side? Yeah, it is. It's fine. Okay. Starting to come together a little bit. It doesn't look like much from down here. It's kind of hard to see, and like the armor's still in shambles around the corners. We're gonna have to figure those out at some point soon. Let's get a heal. Ooh. That might have been saving. Caused my elevator a little bit of an upset. Right. Healed. Done. Okay. So yeah, this is permadeath mode as well. We have not died. I don't intend to. We're not going to start now. We're doing alright so far. There are spiders back in this world. Last time, if you watched very, very closely during the big sped up sort of time-lapsey bit, where I was building some of the front of that, one appeared right there where that divot is and got immediately shot. We just about saw it. So if you were to go through that in sort of super slow playback mode, you would see that. We did not cut anything out of that bit. It was just sped up a lot. Right, that needs to be brought over one. Don't want to do that. So that needs to be there instead. So, and I just got rid of the bay windows off here. That's kind of typical, isn't it? Bay window block. Do there for now. It's a bit all over the place, but it's fine. Right, so I need the end. Oh no, that bit goes there. And I need an end piece. Come on, it's an ordinary end. I'm not going to do weird diagonal stuff. There we are. Need a girder, of course. Right. Right, let's weld these up. Right, so there's our bay windows in. They kind of match the floor, so it looks pretty good. These bits here, I don't know, we might even panel over those potentially. But I think potentially, yeah, we could panel over some of that. Or we could keep it in. It's kind of, it adds a bit of interest. Right. These bits here, I think we have to find some way of making them look good. Can't really put anything here though, so I can't panel onto those at all. So maybe they just have to stay the way they are. We could potentially turn one around, but those essentially going to be for this because we need to control two groups of doors so we can stagger these so they look cool when they open. Obviously not an essential, but I feel like it is. I feel like it's important that things look good. Right. Good. Is there anything else we need to do in here for now just to make this thing look okay? Well, obviously we're going to need lights and stuff at some point, so maybe here we can put spots. All of that's one of those sort of later decision things. Not a lot of point right now making decisions about all of this when we haven't even built the main structure, so let's carry on up. So here, and we're gonna figure out how to patch all this in together at some point later on. I think that's going to be quite a big job, that one. Here we're going to need to put a bridge on, and we can work out how to get to it after. So typically with a bridge you'll have a higher up section and a lower down section. So the higher up section could be for like where the navigating stuff is going to be. I think... Well, actually, no, it's going to be middle deck. Middle deck, then command deck. Then a bridge. Is it going to be bigger behind a bridge? I don't mind if it is, but I think the bridge should be part of the command deck. Let's get some floor on here, because I think that's going to be important. And let's see, do we do it light armor, or do we do it sci-fi interior wall? These are lighter. A bit more fragile, but they're lighter. If I go with these, I have to find a shit that looks okay for floor. That way. So they have lights that go across. Right, I'm going to need a load of interior plate for this. I just want to pull interior plate. There we go. Right. So at this point here, let's make sure we got that right. Yep. So, yeah. So what we might need to do, we might actually need to bring this level a bit higher, potentially. We might need to slope up just a bit more. Because the hangar there is kind of... Well, we could fit a few floors within this space here, way further back. And along the sides, potentially, have stuff. Have these sort of functional sections sort of cutting through the ship. But it's going to be quite long and very thin and not very sort of beefy or structural. So I think we bring this up one more level. We may have to cut some of this floor out so we've got room for something here. It's either that or this floor is going to be like a like a 2 meter high floor, 2.5 meters. 2.5 is quite a lot actually. We could make it a 2.5 meter tall floor. Yeah, okay. Let's just cover over all of this. We'll leave these spaces where we've got potential for pipe works coming up, and then we could choose which ones we need. Fill in the rest that we don't need. So, and hope I don't fall in. In fact, actually, I'm gonna actually fill that in because I don't want to fall in. Here, just gonna fill these in. We're not going to use all of these, so yep. Try to keep as symmetrical as we can as we go. It's double thickness here, but that's kind of essential. Again, going to cover over all of these. Just won't weld up the ones that have pipe potentials. So it's going to be quite solid. Any gaps we find, like, they're just going to be, well, they're going to be because they need to be there as like weight saving, but I am not afraid of sort of doubling up in certain areas. Okay, let's just really build out this deck. Yeah. I kind of like doing it this way because you then don't necessarily know what it's going to look like from inside until you get there. You can always make adjustments if it's terrible, but you tend to find that you can be quite pleasantly surprised by what sort of spaces this automatically creates that you can then utilize. I mean, this is just a middle part of the deck, so
Meteor storm inbound.
Meteor storm. Just gonna come from over there. Which means they should get shot down before they get close to me, so should be fine. It's only really if they come from this side quite low that we could have a problem, because we're kind of now we're occluding those guns, which means in the near future we're going to need to start putting weaponry on here, just so we can protect itself. Right, okay. Come on. There. That is not going to stay there, that one gyro. We're going to have to put a gyro room in. I tend to try and find somewhere to put them later, rather than just having one dedicated space for gyros, but maybe we'll do it differently this time. I don't know. Right, we're kind of hanging over the rear of the middle now, but I don't really want to go too much further than where those stairs are, because where those stairs are, we're going to get to sort of where gas tanks and big cargo and stuff like that's going to have to go. So it's going to be a more hollow part of the ship, which will make it lighter, but then it will be compensated for by large objects that could potentially hold cargo, so that'll kind of balance itself out a bit. And if it's going to be slightly heavy, I'd rather it be most of the mass sort of in this bit when it's empty, so it doesn't go weird and flippy. So let's bring this out further. We've got loads of room to do that. We're going to need to figure out where thrusters are going to go at some point, but that's kind of why I want to have nacelles on the sides, because then we can put most of our up, down, left and right thrust into those. Forward thrust will go at the ends of the nacelles potentially. Rear thrust, well, the rear thrust pointing forward, making us go forward. It's going to be a big tail section at the back. Or we could go in the back of the nacelles instead and just make them even bigger, and at the back have another hangar potentially, with front sort of entrance rather than top entrance, so we could have another sort of rear entrance hangar thing. I need to go down the other side on this side. Just fill these in. So right now I'm kind of just going with the flow that this is going to be a deck, and there may even be room to subdivide the one below. Not 100% certain about that. Right, and there will be another one on top, so this will come up another level, or stay at that level potentially, and floor across here. So this is going to be quite a thin deck. Is it? No, I think this needs to be too high, because then we can squeeze in stuff like assemblers, refineries, all that sort of stuff into here. Assemblers will fit. Refineries need like 4 by 2 by 4. Is it 4 by 2? No, it's 2 by 2 by 4, sorry. Which should fit sort of potentially down there. Let's see, how tall is that? 1, 2. Too high there. We're probably 1 off the bottom of here. So we could fit them sideways in here somewhere, in the sides. Or literally in these spaces here where we've got this piping running, we could cut the pipe and put some refineries in. And use this section for assemblers and keep it 1 high. And have other things in here like medical and stuff like that. That could work quite well. Yeah, I think we do that. So refineries are going to go in the sides of these. I knew this space was here for a good reason. And it would fit perfectly. Okay. That's pretty good. We'll Right, we've got loads of places we can bring a pipe up here for things like assembling and medicaling. Pretty decent. Right, we need to weld up all of this with the exception of the ones that are potential for pipes. We can weld up the rest later, but for now we're going to need to do this. So I'm going to have to do that and then come back to you. Because you don't want to watch, because these take forever to. This is the downside. See, these blocks are lighter, so they're great for interiors of ships, which is why they're called interior walls. But because they're not just one material, they use construction components and interior plate. It takes quite a lot of trips, a lot more trips to do one of these sorts of walls. At some point, we're going to have to put cargo in, but I don't want to just chuck one in because then I have to work around it. I want to sort of build it in so it fits the flow. So I'm going to pause. I'm going to come back when this bit is done. And as if by magic, I am... Oh, I'm out of energy. So yeah, we've got a constellation of potential port options. Obviously, there's more in the middle than over at the sides. I quite like the lights coming through those.
Energy critical.
And we do not have a way up to here yet. So at some point soon, we're going to have to devise a way out of here, like, well, up to there and back down. So we're gonna have to put some stairs and stuff in there. For now, I need to get my energies up. So good job I've kept this little way in and out. There's quite a lot of welding. It went dark while we were doing it, which means we get kind of opportunity to see the lights and stuff and how it's working. But for the moment, yeah, this is going to be our mid-deck, sort of mid-deck. I mean, it could even be the third deck by the time I get it down and start dealing with down here, because like down here there's, not in these bits obviously, you can't see through any of these because they're all piped in, but there is quite a lot of space in there. Can I jump down there? Might hurt. No, probably not. Okay, so we've actually got quite a bit of room around here, this level. If we actually sort of filled in this space here potentially, we've got room down there for loads of stuff. We've got room over here for a whole bunch of stuff. Stairs there that go nowhere at the moment. We're literally going to have to figure those out. So let's have a look at how this looks. So now we've got a roof on there and all these lights which look really cool. With my lights off. If I put my lights on, it sort of drowns it all out, but like, that's pretty cool. Come through here, see what the next space looks like. Yeah, so we're starting to see how it's going to enclose itself. So this is good. We've got this bit of space here. We've got this kind of subspace up there, which is going to be interesting. I don't know what we're going to do with that side yet. We'll have to figure that out. Then that comes into here, and again this roof is going to sort of cover all of this over. It's going to blend together. This room here, because of the way that this works, probably isn't going to have a lot of room for extra stuff, but we could put something maybe here, sort of in this little space here. I feel like these need joining up. They were supposed to be joined up, so we're going to have to do that at some, yeah, pretty soon. And then that comes up through here into our hangar bay. So this ship now has, all of a sudden, it has quite a lot of interior rather than being all exterior. So I'm quite pleased with that progress so far. Right, time I think for us to get out of here, wrap this up. Let's do a little runner over there into the bushes like I did yesterday, but you didn't see it because I was super sped up and squeaky. Freeze. Don't do that. Yeah, okay. So you can see what I mean, like the front is looking a bit interesting. It's like kind of almost beluga whale-ish. So that's going to have to come down further, I think. Or we leave it like that. I don't know. We do something with the front, I think. But that is going to come a lot higher. So at this point here, it's going to ramp up into whatever's the top. So right now it's kind of looking a bit pencil shaped, but when we get the sides on a bit more and get some more of the back and everything, bring in the detail and have that sort of ramping around here and bring in the bridge and everything, it's going to look a little bit more interesting, and we can then start blending these shapes together a bit more. I mean, bear in mind, this is just the floor for another level. And then we'll have another level on top of that for certain. So yeah, pencil-y, but it's going to be interesting. I don't think there's any room to bring any of this up or down or anything. There's going to be something down there as well. We're going to have to put something underneath there. So that's going to come out a little bit. That whole space there is a vulnerability at the moment. So this is going to get something in it. Not too close to the piston, but something's going to go there. Okay, great. So next time, we'll figure out how to get to that floor. We're going to have to find a space to put some sort of stairs up to it, like an official entrance. Once we've done that, and then we can start actually putting things into that floor and working out how the next floor is going to go on, so we can actually get a bridge on there. We're going to sort of try building up and then work our way back, following the shapes that we start in the middle, so that it kind of keeps blending and stays consistent. If we just try to go all the way back from this level here, we're going to end up with something that looks very flat, very much like a pencil. It needs to, at some point here, sort of come up, do something interesting before the back, which will hang over probably somewhere around here. So there's loads of room for the shape to sort of do something. Yeah. Okay. That was a bit of a long waffle. I've left the elevator there, which is good. We need to weld up that at some point. Oh, we've got quite a lot to do. Now, the only way I'm going to be able to speed this up any faster than it's going right now is if we, say, brought this whole thing into creative mode and started building there with our jetpack on. But that kind of breaks the whole scenario, so I'm really not keen on doing that unless like everybody suddenly started crying out for it. So this is the pace we're going at. We're counting problems on the way, but we're also making sure everything's accessible, apart from that one floor that we just built that we can't get to in reality because we won't be able to just climb on the hull to get into it. So we're going to figure that out next time. In the meantime, have a fantastic weekend, and whatever else is going to be in between, as we always say. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week for another No Jetpack Survival. Bye for now.